Justin Blackmon is the most recent Shrine Bowl Hall of Fame inductee, but with 12 more Cowboys coming around the corner, to me, I think it's fair to say now another one of these dudes is going to make the Hall of Fame too.
You are Locked On Oklahoma State, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma State Cowboys, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Howdy, y'all, and hello, all. Welcome back to Locked On Oklahoma State, your daily stop for all things Cowboy and Cowgirl related. My name is Cody Stovall. I want to thank you kindly for stopping by to make this your first listen. We're available on all of your podcasting platforms, visually as well on YouTube. Find me personally on X at AllDayOState. Today, we're brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment matter more with FanDuel. As the playoffs wind down and the summer heats up, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus every single day. There's something in this for every day, all summer long for you. Make sure you visit FanDuel.com to get started today. Meanwhile, we get to get started with the Cowboys that have been recently named to the 2024 Shrine Bowl. But before we do that, we got to mention the Hall of Famer himself, the man, the myth, not with a mullet, Justin Blackmon. Since 1925, the East-West Shrine Bowl has been put on to support kids in desperate need of constant medical care, regardless of financial capabilities. They've been putting together this all-star game to highlight the top draft-eligible seniors in America. This year, there's a little bit of a twist. They're not just doing seniors, they're allowing underclassmen for the first time in history. Oklahoma State has 7 Hall of Fame members inducted until recently. Justin Blackmon is number 81 in our hearts, but now he's number 8 on the Cowboy Shrine Bowl Hall of Fame list. He joins coaches Jimmy Johnson and Lynn Pappy Waldorf, as well as some of the mainstays, a.k.a. the GOAT, Barry Sanders. Right behind him, Terry Miller, Thurman Thomas, the newest member of the Ring of Honor in Stillwater, Oklahoma, Leslie O'Neal. Yes, that is a shameless plug. Make sure you go check out the Leslie O'Neal episode. The galloping ghost, Bob Fenimore, is left to round out the Cowboys in the Hall of Fame. Will one of the 12 new Cowboys be the next great to have their names etched in the halls of the Shrine Bowl? It's very possible, but you got to do a little something special to get there. And then you have to perform in front of all the coaches and scouts when you do get there to help validate all the reasons you got there. Justin Blackmon is that guy. Now, he's also unfortunately known substantially more for his somewhat quote-unquote criminally negligent behavior instead of his accomplishments. The Shriners Oklahoma State Oklahoma and College Football Hall of Fame versions of the great number 81 should be remembered more than the dude who did some crazy stuff in the NFL. The best wide receiver in America was validated by winning back-to-back Blitnikoff awards, joining Michael Crabtree. He's the only other receiver in the history of the game to do so. He was a 2-time unanimous first-team All-American, finishing number 5 in the 2010 Heisman voting. He holds the NCAA record with 14 100-yard receiving seasons and a touchdown in each one of those games. His 1,782 yards with 20 touchdowns in 2010 was good enough for 7th all-time in the NCAA record books. He's the first wide receiver in Big 12 history to win Player of the Year award, which is typically designated for a quarterback or a running back. 3rd in Big 12 history for single-season receptions. Number 1 in receiving yards. Number 1 in touchdowns. Number 1 in all-purpose yards. He holds a 32-7 record alongside Brandon Whedon with a Big 12 title, a Fiesta Bowl W over Andrew Luck after getting politically and very unceremoniously screwed by the BCS committee that died after magically and probably accidentally, I'm sure, making a 0.008% mistake. Justin Blackmon was the MVP of that consolation prize bowl game, then drafted number 5 overall, and immediately made the NFL all-rookie team. Then he put up something stupid like 642 yards in like 5 or 6 games before all the crap fest started, a.k.a. the dude like to puff, pass with all of his top 5 first-round draft pick money a little bit too much. And he may have not have passed it a whole lot. I don't know. Who knows? But what I do know is that he's probably the wide receiver GOAT in Stillwater. That means he's better than Tylan Wallace, James Washington, Hartley Dykes, and our guy and a friend of the show, Rashawn Woods. We can call him Justin Big Chieftain Blackmon, and we can also call him him. Kendall Daniels might be the next him on this list, but we got a dude not getting enough love mixed in here as well. Now, speaking of mixing, Don't mix and match too much on your rig. I know all of us certified Okies are required to obtain degrees in duct tape and JB Weld, but sometimes that's unnecessary. You need to stop with the tomfoolery and get hooked up today with eBay Motors. With over 122 million parts to choose from, you need to keep your ride or die rig alive today with eBay. The summer months make your vehicular transportation needs much more important. The formula for winning championships is to keep your ride or die rig alive. You can't win if you can't get there. They have everything you need to keep your vehicle up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, LED lighting kits, whatever it is, speed, power, style, we have you covered. With over 122 million parts to choose from, we can keep your ride or die rig alive. With eBay Motors, the objective is to have you burning rubber and not cash. And with the eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your rig every time or your cash or dollars back. You need to keep your rig alive today with eBay Motors. Go there today at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. The eBay Guaranteed Fit is only available for U.S. customers because you are special. So is Tulsa. Tulsa is special. Yeah, of course, they're not viewed typically as a rivalry, but let's expand our thought process here. In this new realm of collegiate football, the NIL era, on Power 4 Division I transfers, it showed on the field. Now, we know Tulsa has, 5 Cowboys that have made their way down the road. This Turnpike Classic has been kicked up a notch with a new contract going 8 more years, and now we've got $2 billion behind it by way of Gateway First Bank. Gateway's out of Jinx area, the Tulsa area, Oklahoma. They've been around for over 20 years, so this is a big partnership for them. I'm not simply here to talk about Tulsa because I think it's a cool game and a cool thing. I'm here to talk about Tulsa because why not them be a rival? I know it sounds slightly outlandish coming out of my mouth, but this landscape has completely changed. OU is gone. Texas is gone. Texas Tech naturally should be our next rival, but they have to be good enough to garner that attention. Utah has been acting so pretentious and sanctimonious. They're trying really hard to be like OU. Problem is, they got to win on the field like OU did at one point in time as well. They might struggle in that department. So although we are fishing for a rival, we know it's not going to be Kansas State because they're just too daggone nice. Why not Tulsa? If you look at their roster and you're talking 16, 17 Division I Power 4 transfers, including 4 or 5 that came from Stillwater, Oklahoma, including a few guys like Ben Kapinski that were very instrumental in the success we had in the 2021 season, why not them? Because when you look at Tulsa's roster, they've had moments where they've popped up and they've been great. The problem with Tulsa has always been other schools viewed them as a jump-off spot, and so did other coaches. So when you go back and look at the lineage of Tulsa's success, all of those coaches that were successful, they ended up taking their talents elsewhere. We want to talk about Gus Malzahn. Guys, Gus Malzahn at one point in time was doing the daggone thing in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We know what they were able to do, the 2012, 2013 range. They were a very, very good ball club that gave us a run for the money and ended up winning double-digit ball games multiple seasons. So Tulsa has been good before, and they were good before the transfer era. Tulsa was good at one point in time before you could go grab kids from Tulane and Louisiana and Kansas State and Oklahoma State. Tulsa can be good again. Guys, we just got a couple new members from the American Athletic Conference. Like Houston and Cincinnati could be much like Tulsa 10 years from now, 5 years from now. I'm just simply stating, would I think that Tulsa would be the best rivalry for Oklahoma State? No. I do think it should be somebody like a Texas Tech. And now, since they want the smoke, bring on Utah. I'm actually a little disappointed that we don't get to go Salt Lake City this year, but Provo's on my bucket list, and we can give Utah the whooping they deserve in Stillwater and give them a big old hug. That is Boone Pickens Stadium. When we're talking about facilities, the best facility on campus might be the baseball facilities. And Josh Holliday might have another opportunity to right some wrongs, to make some amends. Not that he has, right? Josh Holliday personally was great enough to come play at Oklahoma State, unlike his selfish brother. How rude of you, Matt Holliday. Okay, so if you don't remember, Matt Holiday dominated Stillwater High School and the Diamond and the quarterback for the Pioneers before skipping, playing for his dad at Oklahoma State and with his brother Josh to go straight to the majors. Matt did, however, come back to Stillwater to help his brother and the Cowboys in the hitting department, launch angle, and realistically, it was massively beneficial in the recruiting section as well. So surely he was going to be able to convince Jackson Holiday to rock the orange and black. Well, dag nabbit, that didn't happen. He's rocking the wrong orange and black. Who cares if the Orioles are orange and black? It's the wrong thing. Jackson just had to go screw everything up by batting a filthy, unfair, and ridiculous 685 with 29 doubles, 6 triples, 17 long balls, and 79 RBIs to go alongside his 30 stolen bases and 40 ball games. The number 1 overall pick did not become a Cowboy. So then you have to shift gears to Ethan Holiday. If we can't get Matt, we can't get Jackson, we got to get Ethan, right? No. Ethan is projected also as the number 1 overall pick. No matter what happens, he's likely to be a top 3 pick, which puts him outside of O'Brate Stadium. So you're telling me we do get Tom Holiday, we do get Josh Holiday, but we don't get Matt, we don't get Jackson, and we don't get Ethan? Now, I am being slightly facetious here because, of course, I think it's phenomenal that they're both first rounders, potentially the very first overall pick. I can't even imagine as a dad what that feeling would be like. So pretty cool for him. But aren't we allowed as Oklahoma State fans to at least try to be somewhat selfish? Right? Can we get a holiday on the daggone campus? Josh, give us Brady. Give us Brady Holiday. The 2027 middle infielder may be our last hope at seeing another certified, bona fide Holiday actually play on the field and run the bases in Stillwater, Oklahoma. That's only because he's 5'8", 145 pounds, and he hits a pedestrian 330. AKA, he's human, ladies and gentlemen. He's human, so he might end up playing in Stillwater. He's got a pretty good 60, right around the 7.4 range, clocked at 18 miles an hour. He can hit for power, even though he's 5'8", 145 pounds. His hand and bat speed, accompanied with his barrel rotation, are already next level. They're very, very impressive in the power department for his size and age. Sure, you can compare him to 2 number 1 overall pick or certified first rounders and his brothers. But that would kind of be a waste of time. He's a different animal. He plays a different way. He plays second. Ethan plays short, but he has the versatility to do both because he travels doing both as well. He can get on base. He is the quintessential epitome of a leadoff. What do you want out of your leadoff? To get on base, any way, shape, or form. Well, he led 6A Oklahoma baseball and being able to draw walks and hit by pitch. I don't know that getting hit by pitch is an art, but if it's an art form that has been mastered, it's been mastered by this fella. He's a savant. Marty Les has already come out and said multiple times that the biggest benefit that Brady Holiday has over somebody like a Jackson or even an Ethan, who, by the way, he did say Ethan is likely the most talented high school prospect he's ever worked with. I would say that's saying something. But his said about Brady is you would assume that Ethan and Jackson would be teaching Brady parts of the game. According to the head coach of Stillwater High School and former Oklahoma State coach, Marty Lees, that is not the case. It's the older Holidays that go to Brady for the understanding of what to do, the minute details that need to be fine-tuned a little bit more to maximize potential. It is Brady Holiday that is the one that's out there being a coach on the field, which I guess does make sense. He's following in the same footsteps of his dad, Josh Holiday, who did try his hand a little bit at the major leagues, but realized that coaching and developing and teaching and training and recruiting were more important to him. He realized that getting Oklahoma State and Allie P. Reynolds back to the level that he used to was extremely important. So important that he came immediately, took us to Omaha, got this biggest, baddest, most gorgeous stadium in America, and we keep getting bounced out of our own regionals. O'Brate was built to do what? To host supers. That's it. Point blank period. If O'Brate is hosting super regionals, it is accomplishing everything it was set out to do. Whenever they built O'Brate, they went through Mississippi State, Arkansas, Ole Miss, Vandy, all of the top baseball facilities in America, and they picked each thing about them that they preferred the most. And then they actually combined some of those aspects with Major League ballparks as well. Is Brady Holiday one of those individuals that can be a leader on the field to get us to that next level? Because we just witnessed 8 Cowboys being drafted. When you have 8 Cowboys being drafted, and you have Tommy Molsky, who did what he did to win us the Big 12 title game, and you also have the two-way star in Carson Bench, accompanied with one of the greatest hitters in collegiate baseball at the moment, which is Nolan Schubert. How do we have these issues? I don't think it's necessarily a leadership issue, nor do I necessarily think that it's a talent issue. I think it's an approach issue, right? Offensively, I think we got a little drunk with how receptive recruits were to Matt Holiday and the system that Oklahoma State had presented to people. But at the end of the day, if we do not get back where we belong in the sport of baseball, then this is a moot point. This is almost a pointless conversation. But before we let you skedaddle on off of here, we're going to stay in baseball as the Cowboys get a defensive wizard from Mizzou to transfer in shortstop Drew Culbertson. Now, if we went over the offensive metrics, they're not going to rock your socks off, okay? He is a defensive-minded guy, so much so that he was viewed as one of the top middle infielders in the SEC from a defensive perspective. And if we're concerned about batting, I'm going to show you Lane Forsythe. Lane Forsythe is the same kind of situation. He came from Mississippi State. After starting as a true freshman and winning a national title as a true freshman, he never really got his bat up to where he was able to play in the field. This is pretty reminiscent of, this latest Mizzou transfer. He only batted a 191, a.k.a. he needs Jesus, or he needs work in the batting department. Thankfully, we can do that. His 272 on-base percentage and 241 slugging percentage did kind of help his 513 OPS, but those numbers can get better at Oklahoma State because we've been through this very thing with Lane Forsythe. So although we're looking to solidify more of the middle infield, maybe this is an Avery Ortiz scenario where he gets to do a little bit of shifting here. Maybe this is just simply to add some bulk and depth to the roster at a middle infield spot that maybe we're a little light at. What I do know is after he transfers in, this makes the 6th Cowboy to join late. We have another pitcher in Tommy Ullman. We have the pitcher from Hawaii in Harrison Bodendorf. St. John, 6'8", 235-pound pitcher Mario Pesca, former Arkansas left fielder Jason Jones, 5-star recruit, and former Grand Canyon reliever Hunter Watkins. This is your current portal class, and Culbertson will have 3 seasons of eligibility left at Oklahoma State. So even if we were concerned about those numbers, guys, he was a young cat, right, starting in the SEC. Therefore, I'm not concerned about him getting his offensive prowess where he wants it to be over the next few years. If there's any place in the country that can help him develop those attributes almost instantaneously, it's going to be Oklahoma State. You can count on one hand how many facilities there are in the country that can accomplish the same things that Josh Holiday can in Cowboy country. Hopefully this thing continues to get better for the baseball squad. We do return a lot of guys. If you saw recently, Aiden Miola is coming back. We've seen Donovan De La Salle absolutely destroying the baseball in the summer ball system. So we have to expect a super regional. But I think it's fair now to expect even more after getting bounced back to back years at our own stadium in Stillwater. It can't happen. Matter of fact, this year, Josh, do us a favor. If we get to host a regional, just turn it down, man. Turn it down. Put us on the road. I know that's not what O'Brate was built for. I know that's not what will make everybody happy. Heck, I'm not even happy about it. but I'm definitely not happy with getting beat out of your own regional repeatedly. Can't do it no more. I'm over it. I'm done with it. Maybe Brady holiday is the holiday to give us all of the holidays we've been looking for. All righty, y'all. I probably should get out on the road here, so I'm going to do that. You know I love you. As always, God bless. Go Pokes. And thank you for tuning in to make this your first listen here in Locked On Oklahoma State. You could be anywhere. So happy you choose to be here. Like it if you like the daggone thing. Dislike it if you don't. That's okay, too. More importantly, share, comment, and subscribe. My podcast and folks out there, do what you do. Hit the stars, leave the reviews. Later, taters.